Hey guys, welcome back to Bring Back the Girls. I'm so happy to have you guys back for a new season that we're starting. This year, we are adding more content, more guests, short form videos, and takeovers on my Instagram channel. So we got a lot more things going on this year for you guys, and I'm just so happy that you guys are enjoying this channel as much as I am. Our next guest, who's currently on Stars, which is the one and only Kayli Tancredi. This girl, I remember her when she was on Twinkles, which is crazy, when I was on Shooting Stars. And it's already her senior year, which makes me feel very old. But she's grown into such a beautiful young lady. And in this episode, we talk about the 2025 Stars season, how they came up with the theme, the choreography, and some of her favorite sections in the routine. And we also, with majors coming up, we dive into what my majors experience was like compared to hers. And we just talk about how she's feeling about her senior year and so much more. So I know you guys are gonna enjoy this episode. We're starting 2025 off strong with the current star. Yeah, I'll stop rambling and I will see you at the end of the video. Welcome back, everyone. We have our next guest, Kayli Tancredi. Well, I'm so excited to have you on. You're our second star that is on Stars currently. Just jump right into our first question, which is your cheerleading journey and how you grew up to become a shooting star.
Yeah, so my journey started when I was 4, and I have to kind of give credit to my sisters because they were invited to a birthday party at a cheerleading gym. And of course, I tagged along because I was the little sister who, always wanted to be with them. And it was originally them who kind of fell in love with the gym there. So we started the next season. We were all on the same mini level 1 team. And then the following year, we went to a different gym, and I was on a mini level 1 team there too for I think 2 more years. And then one day my mom picked me up from school and she said, okay, we're going to tryouts at World Cup. And at the time I was very young, so I wasn't really sure what World Cup was because I was kind of new to the cheerleading world. But my sister had loved Shooting Stars and she always wanted to be on the team. So we decided we were going to go to World Cup the next year, which it's like an hour and 15 away, but it ended up being all worth it in the end. So when I tried out, I made Dippers my first year, and I believe that was 14, 15. And then the next year I was on Twinkles when it was still Youth 5. Then I was on Twinkles again. And that year, my sister, right before kickoff, had gotten hurt on Starlights. So then I got pulled up to Starlights that year and was on both teams. And she ended up being on Sun. So it all worked out. And I was on Twinkles and Starlights that year. And then the next year, Starlights again. And then Starlights again the next year. And then my first year on Stars was 1920. And sadly, that was COVID year. So that was kind of weird. But ever since then, I have been on Stars.
You kind of went through,
Yeah.
all the steps. Who were your coaches?
I had Angel and Denise.
Oh, so
For
OG, like,
yes,
yeah.
the OG ones. And I think my last year I did have Chrissy.
Oh, I love Chrissy. Was your sister on Stars with you? Because I remember
Yes.
you guys came to the gym. So what years was she on Stars?
We made Stars the same year,
Oh,
1920, and then she was a senior, 2021.
oh my goodness, that's so cute. How was
Yeah.
that thing? Because Julie and I were on Stars together.
hmm
A little bit about it. How was that being on the team with your sister?
I loved being on the team with her. We were on Starlights one year together too, and it was always fun to me because I always knew she was like there, like cheering me on because I tumbled that year and kind of more than she did, which it was nice having her support me through everything, and we were always there for each other. So I thought it was fun. And also, I was young, so traveling and like rooming without my mom was weird. So having my sister there was nice.
It was nice to have someone on the team that you could always like count on to like have.
hmm it was kind of the year we got like super close and like bonded a lot. So I love that.
So all the large all girl routines are out now. What do you think of the routines?
I think this year is going to be very challenging because all of the routines look really good, especially Orange. I mean, other than Stars, I've always been a fan of them because I feel like every year they always look like one person and like so clean. So I just think that this year with everyone having so much talent, it's going to be a very like hard year, and we're all going to be like neck and neck the whole year.
No, I agree. I watched Senior Elite, and because I saw that they had a theme, and I was like,
Hmm.
Senior Elite really hasn't had a theme too many years, which I thought I think it works really well with like the
Hmm.
I gave that routine a watch. That was pretty cool. I saw Orange's stunt. I haven't seen their whole routine, but
Hmm.
Orange, even when I was cheering, just like robots. Like they would do
Yes.
anything, and you'd be like, "Oh, cool." They look
Yeah.
like the same person. Speaking of stars, you guys just had your first competition and kickoff. So I guess we can just talk about like how that theme happened, choreography, favorite parts of the routine.
So I think our theme kind of came out of nowhere. One practice, we were just, stunting around, and Deontay came up to me and he was like, what would you think about if we did a theme like Stars Across America? And at first, it's a little skeptical because it was election year and I didn't know how that would go over. But then when he explained it more to me, I kind of started to like it more because our theme is supposed to be like uniting the cheer community underneath like the stars. So once he explained it that way, I kind of liked that it actually had a meaning to it because it's supposed to be like no matter what your background is or whatever in cheer, we're all united. We're all like one big family. So I really liked that. And choreography was so much fun. We have Adrian Butler doing our routine, which he is just amazing. He made our routine so good. And I love choreography because we have our team sleepover then. So it's such like a big bonding point with the team. So it's always so much fun every year. And especially because when we have our sleepover, we're all like so tired. So we're laughing at everything. And it's just like so much fun because it's really just a big sleepover with like all your best friends. So I love that.
I love the theme. I will say at first I was also skeptical when I
Yes.
first heard about it, but once I saw the routine with the music, I was like, oh yeah, they did it again. Like it just matched
Yeah.
perfectly, and I mean I'm so excited to see you guys keep on elevating that routine throughout the year because that's what stars. They always do that. It's like you
Yeah.
start out with one routine, but then Elaine and Joelle just keep on adding incredible
Yes.
things to it. So I'm so excited. Choreography was always such a fun
Hmm.
time with stars, in my opinion. The only time where I was just like, I can't do this anymore was when we hit like hour 6 one year, 2016. We had these dancers come in and do our choreography.
Oh, yes.
They were just telling us to go different places, but not give us like a line or a space.
Hmm.
So we were just like all over the place on the floor and it was just a mess.
Yeah. We had like real dance choreographers come in one time, like real dancers. I forget what year it was. It was either when we were Hollywood theme or the year after when we like didn't really have a theme.
Hmm.
I can't remember what year it was, but they don't give us like lines or spaces or counts. It's just kind of just like going with it. And I don't know, that's just not how we were like trained. So it was kind of a mess.
You get great choreography out of it. You just
Hmm.
don't get good visuals, I guess, like where you're supposed to be on the floor. Favorite part of the routine, and is there like a really hard section for you guys to hit at the moment?
Yeah, my favorite part I think is our stunt entry. I love like the roundoffs in. I think they're so like satisfying to watch. Sadly, I'm not in that part. I do a front flip in the back, but I love watching it because it's so cool. And I think our hardest part, not even just hard to hit, but the hardest part I would say was the end of our pyramid when we do the rewinds, the one and a half up, and the
Yes.
hand in hand because everyone is so tired by that point, and it's kind of our last impression, like with stunting wise. So it's a lot of pressure to hit that part, and it's a lot of moving around. So I think that's our hardest part of the routine. And once we get that solid, especially the one half up, that's the hardest part because you do the rewind and you have to get your grips right away. But I think once we get that down, it's going to be easy.
Watching that part of the pyramid, I was like, wow, we did
Hmm.
nothing like that in our pyramid. You guys have to spread out, have like two groups,
Hmm.
do like a little honestly like a little pyramid by yourself. I love the pyramid in that last section. It's very impressive. Do you have anything else to add about the routine or
I mean, I want to talk about a little bit like the place we're in right now because I was so proud of the routine we put on last weekend because I think we are already in such a good spot. Even though we had a few little mistakes, I feel like this time compared to this time last year, we're already like a lot better than we were. So I feel like that has a lot of ups to it. And I'm hoping throughout the season we just keep progressively getting better, and so we could get upgrades and like more cleaning. But I was so proud of everyone last weekend because a lot of the girls are really young this year. So the fact that we were able to go on the floor and that was their first kind of showcase with stars, I was just so happy with that outcome.
Past year's stars at the beginning, I don't know if you like, usually it's not the best start, but you
Yeah.
up throughout the year. And I agree. I think you guys came out. You're hungry this year, so
Hmm.
so excited. And Gianna also, the last interview that I had, she was talking about how the girls are just so giddy to be stars.
Hmm.
Think that is like a little power for you guys, like having new, like, yes, younger stars, kind of like a brand new team, but it also brings like a different dynamic, which is always good. Gianna told me about the black uniforms, and I saw the black uniforms. They are beautiful. What do you think about being the first like stars having a full black uniform?
I think it's just such a special opportunity, especially for the new girls, because I mean, I still remember the first day I got my first Shooting Stars uniform, and it was just so special. I could not wait till I got home to try it on. And for them, it's like another added element. It's like now we can always remember that we're the first team to ever wear black uniforms. And I think they are so pretty. Every time I see them, like I love it more. And every time I put it on, I'm like, wow, this is just so beautiful. And the first time I saw it, it was the prototype. And I wasn't sure at first because they changed a few things, but I love how the outcome is now, and all the girls love it too.
It looks so good on the mat. I was
And
just
yes. Hmm.
Gianna and I in the video, I cut some of this out, but we were very, oh my God, my cat. We were very jealous. We were like, you're kidding. We begged for black uniforms.
So glad I got to like have this uniform.
Is this like your favorite Stars uniform, or do you have like one in mind?
I feel like this is the most different because I mean I have some of them behind me right now,
Yes.
but a lot of them like are the same but just like different fonts almost. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean I loved my first year 1920 because I think that one was the most comfortable uniform I've had. This one's a little bit tight, but I feel like this one's the prettiest, but I would say I don't even know because I love all of them. I loved
Yeah. They're all
2021 too. Like the off the shoulder was really pretty. If I had to pick, I think would be the black ones that are my favorite.
Yeah, they're so unique, and I love them. I think my favorite like stars is definitely like the shooting down the arm, like from
Hmm.
2008, 9. Anyways, that was just like because I'm older. Just when I was growing up, I always saw those uniforms, and I was like, oh,
Hmm.
I want to have that uniform. It's very
Yes, I
cool.
love that one, and I love the skirt with like the one ruffle on it. That one was so cute. I like
Yeah,
it.
and that one actually, we got to, I don't know if you guys got to do this with your uniforms. We got to kind of like design it. So, um, oh, what's her name? Forgot her name. But she came in and was like, "What do you guys want with your new uniforms?" And we were like, "Well, we definitely want black underneath the armpits because
Hmm.
yes, that's just a must." And then we also were like, we want to do stuff with the sleeves. So have like add the shooting back in the arms so we can take photos. And she added the shooting stars. So we got a little bit of a say
Hmm.
for that
Yeah,
uniform.
we didn't do that this year, but I like how it came out anyways.
We didn't ask for the ruffle, I will say that. But
I thought it was like a cute little like added element though.
yeah, I loved it. There were some girls on the team that was not the biggest fan. But I thought it was adorable, so it's whatever. Yeah, I think uniforms could add a lot to a routine, like the way that it looks on the floor as well. So
Hmm.
black
Yeah.
ones look really good on the floor and make the routine look great. So
Yay.
you guys just finished filming for the majors.
Hmm.
So tell me a little bit about that process because I want to kind of maybe bounce back and forth about maybe the differences about my majors experience filming and like yours.
So we had majors filming the day after kickoff. And so for our majors filming, we had practice first because we had to fill in some spots because we had someone get injured before kickoff. So we just needed to make everything look good for the videos. But for us, we go over to the Stars Arena, and the parents always do a really good job of kind of setting up all this food and kind of decorating the whole place and getting big signs that say like WCSS and kind of they kind of go all out, and we get little gifts. I know my mom made little makeup bags for us this year. And I'm super grateful that the parents do that for us because it makes the experience 10 times better. And over there, we film, the names, little sayings, and we'll stunt over there. And then we go back to the main gym to tumble just because it has more space. So it feels safer for the tumblers. And this year, I really liked how they did the behind the scenes with the little GoPro. So that was fun. I think we're having a video come out soon of like what we did for behind the scenes.
That's so cute. That was
Mhm.
very similar to like my experience as well. Certain girls were picked for like interviews. We didn't have the luxury of being recorded in the main gym. They kept us in the shooting star arena, and I hated tumbling in that place.
Yes, I think we did that my first year on Stars. We just stayed over there, and then the next year we had a lot of really long passes, so they were afraid we were all going to run into the wall.
Yeah, people did. I don't know if anyone has on your team, but
No,
there would be people hitting the walls.
yeah, it's not safe.
I'm trying to remember when the Shooting Star gym like opened up the first time. I'm coming up with this. I want to say like 2012, but
Yeah, I feel like it was before I was at the gym.
yeah, and I remember stars like had to practice in there, and they
Hmm.
walls.
Yeah, we rarely ever practice in there now.
Do you remember when there was a back section to it?
Yes.
And
Hmm.
walk that off. That was
I used
fun.
to practice a lot down Twinkles, and then now that there's no back section, I feel like we don't really ever practice over there.
Yeah, it's hard to like kind of move around, I would assume.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of anything else that happened with majors filming. They film all your chants, which is pretty cool.
No, they didn't do that this year. They
Oh,
didn't
really?
film our chance. Mm-mm.
Yeah, they have. I
Yeah,
don't know if that was Miss P who was like, film the chants. Is all the large old girl going to majors?
yeah. I think um the new team in the division this year, I don't think they're going.
Okay. Who's that?
I forget. I think they're Fearless is their name. I'm not really sure.
It's exciting getting it's always nice having the top
Yeah.
five or how many of the originals are, but it is nice to see like other teams coming in.
Hmm.
There was one year they actually had another cheer extreme team. Um,
Oh, really? That's interesting.
what year was it? They announced like cheer extreme for like fifth place or something or sixth place, and everyone was so confused because they thought it was like senior elite,
Hmm.
actually like that other team.
Yeah, I liked when F5 was like in the division because now it's like only one team doesn't globe. So
Hmm.
like you don't want to be that one team. So
Yeah,
I liked when there was more people in the division, but I still like it being like the top four and I guess five this year.
I miss F5 too. They added SAS to the division. Maybe we can go into experience of majors. That could be fun. It's a one day event, and the night before, there's like this whole extravagant thing that happens. Like you have a prom, they like have this stage set up. I don't know if they still do this. They have an announcer, they talk about all the teams. They provide food the night before, and during that, you get to meet all the different teams that are competing there, make some friends. Um, then the next day you compete. And then I remember we had autographs. So we had like this little section that said World Cup, and you would go there and girls were able to come in and like take photos with the stars. And you can sign whatever. And then during that is when a lot of iconic uniform trades happen. So I remember being able to trade with Lady Bullets. That was like the highlight of my life. That was kind of my experience. Do you want to talk about you probably remember it more than me, but
Yeah. So
experience.
I think the prom has changed a little bit. I don't know if you guys wore like long dresses, but now we kind of wear like the short little dresses and just last year I think most of us wore sneakers, but or maybe maybe it was the year before that, I think. But it's really different this year, I think, in the years I've gone to it because now we still get food. We still have like a little announcement thing and I'm pretty sure you can submit an essay and like you get picked to like read it out loud.
Yeah.
They still do that and they show a video of all the teams, but I feel like now it's a shorter night. We don't really do that much with the prom anymore. It's just kind of you wear dresses, take pictures, and then you go into a ballroom. It was last time. And I remember my first year, it was we went to where you competed and it was like on the big screen and we watched this whole big video, but it's changed a lot since then. during like the meet and greet now, I feel like there's a lot of less people who come who aren't competing. So it's more just like we're meeting other teams. And I'm not sure when this changed, but since I made the team in 1920, we don't do uniform swaps anymore. Like stars are not allowed to swap their uniform with anyone.
That's so sad to me. I don't know why. It's really not that sad. But that was like a thing that everyone did.
We have the prom like dancing a little, but I feel like less people kind of are doing it now. It's more just like you're going to like eat and
Take
kind
photos.
of, yeah.
Do you know what you guys win if you win majors? Because we got like a backpack of a set, like a sports bra, spandex, shoes, and well, you have to pay for the ring for me.
Wow.
But
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know because I mean we haven't won it since I've been on the team, but I know you get the big ring, and they give us little majors gifts when we get there. Like everyone gets one. Last year, I think it was like a water bottle. One year they gave us like off-brand AirPods. I don't know. We get like a little gift when we're there. I'm not sure what you get when you win it, other than the ring.
I think it's revealed at that prom night, like what you get.
Hmm.
And yeah, the little goodies are cute. They do a good job at the majors, like making you feel special and welcomed, and it is
Yeah.
to compete at. So I wish you the best of luck there. It's so fun.
Thank you.
I saw our magazine that we did together when you were on Twinkles and
Yes.
I was on Stars. It was Cheerleader magazine, but I forgot what it's
Hmm.
called. So it was kind of like a full circle moment. It's like, oh my God, she was
Hmm.
on Twinkles, and then
Yeah.
now you like you're a shooting star. So how does that feel like being a twinkle and then growing up to be a shooting star? Like it happens so fast.
It does really happen so fast. I remember when I was like age eligible for a world team and I was kind of graduating Starlights. The night before the banquet, I was so scared. I was talking to Vermel and I was like, I don't think I'm ready to be on Shooting Stars. Like, I don't want to be on the team and like be someone who holds them back because I really just wanted to be a strong asset to the team when I was on it. And then I did get an invite and I did make it. And they do a very good job of preparing us. So I mean everything turned out fine. And it was always my dream team. I just didn't want to be on my dream team and be the reason, they were not as good. But that didn't happen. But I always think like that. I'm always like, oh, I want to do it for the rest of my team. But Shooting Stars is just such an amazing experience. It's like no other team at World Cup almost. Like the sisterhood is so strong and the bond is so strong and it's just so much fun. Every practice is fun, every competition is fun. And a big thing that brings like a big element to the team is all the traditions we have because they're from so many years ago that we still do today. And I love that part about Shooting Stars.
It's interesting what you said about like not feeling prepared or like kind of nervous to step on Stars, because Julia actually had that same experience when she came on it to talk to me. She was like, I just felt like the girls were just so much older than me. I
Mhm.
felt very intimidated. Like some of my friends weren't moving up with me, and she was just like it was a lot, and she did have doubts like, will I be able to uphold the standard of what it is to be
Yes.
a shooting star? And obviously, Elaine and Joelle, during the tryout process, they see something in you and they know that you're a good fit. And that's why you made the team and why you're a shooting star captain today. So they know what they're doing and you're an incredible athlete. But I think it's good to note, even the best athletes still have those moments where it's like, oh, will I be able to continue that legacy? And I think we all, or most stars, have that kind of feeling going on to the team.
That's it. Like back then, everyone seemed so old because when I tried out, I was in sixth grade, like going in seventh grade. So how am I going to be on a team with all of these seniors and kind of live up to their legacy and the past legacy of Shooting Stars? But I mean, I kind of had a feeling I was getting an invite because we had Summit that year, and Joel was like watching me and watching all the other girls in Charlotte who moved up with me. And I think something that was very helpful is I did move up with a lot of my friends and the people I grew up with. Like I moved up with Kennedy, which was really nice because we were always super close. And then Maddie Capuccio was on the team, and I was on Charlotte with her. And Carly Landa was my big sister, and I was friends with her
Carly
before.
Landa.
Yes, I love her. She was such a good big sister. So I feel like everyone on the team really helped all the little girls out, especially, I mean, me and Kennedy being the babies. We had amazing big sisters who kind of guided us through the year. That's another thing that helps a lot with like the little girls.
That's crucial. I truly believe like my experience, although I was very excited, it is very intimidating going on to
Hmm.
a team like that being so young. Got to have Mika, so like you and Kennedy, I
Hmm.
Mika and Danielle Bamonte, and Gigi Riccardi on the 2013 season. So like having people your age to talk to about the same experience is very valuable. And then having a big sister that you could go to and be like, hey, I need help, or I'm overwhelmed. What do I do? So oh, Carly, I need to have her on here. Oh, I have this on here. Do you have any advice for any twinkles who are looking up to you now?
Yeah, I would say just don't be afraid to show your personality because shooting stars is really big on personality. Oh my God, I can't say that word.
No,
Personality. Because we have like during the tryout process, there's a bunch of interviews and I know Joelle and Miss P are always looking out for the other teams to see who kind of stands out and almost is like a leader on that team because that's really important on stars. I know at tryouts one year we did like we lined up and you had to like go down the center and dance and just like show off who you are. And I feel like they love having people like that on the team.
yeah, those interviews were not my jam. Let me tell you something. I was such a quiet kid when I was, especially when I was younger. I sh showed off. So this is to all the girls who maybe not are more outspoken, but I showed off like in the air if I was dancing. Now, when it came
Yeah.
to speaking to Elaine and Joelle, I was very timid. As you grow up and become older and get to know Elaine and Joelle a little bit better, it's much easier to have those interviews where
Yes.
they're like at a panel. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think it was helpful because Ramel and Kenny were sitting up there my first year and I had privates with both of them. So felt a little more comfortable. But by this year, I was like, it was like fun. I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't wait to go up and talk to them.
Like, hey, what's up?
Hmm.
Oh, no, I had Elaine, Joelle, and Ty, and I was like, what do I do? This is your last year on Stars. You're a senior, like you said,
Hmm.
you're doing bigger and better things going to Northeastern. So how do you feel about that? And also you're a captain. So talk more about how A, they choose the captain, and B,
Hmm.
it's like being a captain.
So for captains, I mean, I knew I wanted to be a captain since the first day I made this team, and I like throughout the years have been thinking about what I wanted to say. But for captains, we at the end of practice, we all sit in a circle, and then Miss P will say, "Whoever's running for captain, stand up," and then one at a time, we'll have to give a speech to the girls and just kind of explain why we want to be captain, what we plan to do when we're captain, and then everyone gets a little piece of paper, and you write down two names of who you're voting for to be captain, and then they go back they count all the names, they come back out, and you stand in a circle and you do a little drum roll, and then they announce who's captain.
Who are the captains this year?
It's me, Maddie Jonas, and Maddie Simon.
Very nice. That's incredible that you're captain of Shooting Stars. That is just iconic, incredible team that you get to lead. So I'm excited to see how you lead this team this year. Last year, how do you feel?
It's bittersweet because I mean, I never really like fully processed that this moment was gonna come because, making the team so young, I'm like, oh, I have so many years. And
Mhm.
then my sophomore year when I got hurt right before competition season, it was kind of like I jumped from being a sophomore to all of a sudden I'm a senior. Like the time moved so fast that now it's like every competition I'm like, wow, this is like my last time here. Like I kick off, I was like, it's really like the last time now, and it feels so weird because like when I was a sophomore, I was still like, okay, I'm young. I have 3 more years. Like I have so much time. And then I never expected to get hurt. And then now I'm a senior and I love it and I hate it at the same time because I wish I had more years, but I love being a captain on this team and being a senior because all the girls are so young that I'm glad that I get to kind of be there for them this year because it's kind of setting the road for the next year so on this team. Because I feel like your first year on stars is the most impactful. So I'm happy I'm a senior, but then again, if it was my option, I would have like another year.
I think that's the biggest thing that people have been saying, especially Kennedy, when I
Hmm.
asked her about how it felt like her last time competing at Worlds, and it does go by so fast, especially when you're really young on the team. My very first year, just like after we lost, it's like, oh, it's okay. I have X amount of
Same.
yeah,
Hmm.
I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, we'll just have another routine. It kind of just stops abrupt. You're like, oh my God, how did I end up being the youngest to all of a sudden being like the leader on the team? It just goes by so fast. And I think that's good, advice. And it's a common thing that happens in cheerleading. 4 years goes like that. And then you're going to college. I think the best advice is to enjoy every moment, soak it all in, but at the same time it is like sad that you had that injury, but
Yeah.
you're back.
Yeah.
Enjoy your senior year and be a leader on the team. We talked about how there's a lot of traditions that stars have that been passed down for many, many years. Maybe you can go through some of the traditions because I know some new ones were picked up, some old ones are still around. So maybe talk about that.
So yeah, the biggest tradition obviously is the wave, which I think is the most special one. And I'm so grateful that I got to do it this year because it's so much fun knowing that like I just get to like introduce the whole team. I don't know, it's just like really fun for me. And we have clapping it up like before we go on. Like we say, come on girls, go hard or go home. Let's clap it up before full out. And we have this two speeches in the circle. One we lost was the Cheetah Prince Force for All. It got lost in the mail, I think, like 3 years ago, which, yeah, that was very sad. I was like, we need to bring it back. We need a new one. But, someone says in circle, they'll smile or breathe in, breathe out. A new one we have is before we do everything, we karma clap. So someone says karma clap on three, and then we all clap just to make sure we're going on stage with all the positive energy, good vibes, and we get rid of anything negative. Oh, we have, before we go on, we go scream on three, and everyone just screams just to like get any.
And then he told me
if you have any fear, yes, you just like get it out.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, still do that.
That or whatever. The claps. Okay, so they're all kind of there. I ripped the sports bra. Okay, do you have any funny moments from the season so far?
I do have one funny moment, and hopefully Deontay doesn't get mad at me for saying this, but the first time we hit our full out, we come up to like our circle, and he was like, that was so good, guys, I peed myself. And we're all laughing because I know Chrissy always would tell us, like, when we're on Starlights and Twinkles, like, she was like, yeah, when you guys do good, I always pee myself. So, like, that was just so funny to me. And another thing I find funny, which it happens every practice, but when we're warming up, we do our tumbling to, like, 2 run-throughs of our music. And our other coach, Jacob, is always like dancing to the music and like doing our like routine. I just like find it so funny.
I remember Chrissy would always feed her hands. She would bring an extra pair of pants.
Yes, to competitions. Yes. My first year ever basing, so I'm learning on a level 16. Surprisingly better than I thought it was going to go because I feel like being a flyer for so long, I know what it's supposed to feel like. So I kind of like know how to get the grips, and if our stunt goes wrong, it's my flyer's fault. Like I can tell what she's doing because I probably have done it in the past before, so I feel like that helps our stunt a lot. And I have a really good back spot, so that helps because she helps us out a lot.
I always said that the best bases were flyers before because they know what it's like to be in the air and they know exactly what flyers need to hear.
Yes.
And like you said, the grips as well. But I stand by that is like some of the best bases I've ever had were flyers. So
yeah, I liked flying more because I like performing, but I don't mind basing. It's fun because now I feel like I'm in more control of the stunt.
Favorite all-star routine of all time, and then your favorite stars routine of all time.
Okay. My favorite all-star routine was Prodigy All-Stars Midnight. I'm pretty sure it was 2018, if I'm correct. I love their music. I love the routine this year, and even the next year, Odyssey would always stump to their music. Yes, 2018. So I like their music that year. I would play on repeat, like going to cheer because I love their routine. I just like love that team that year. And then my favorite stars routine, Dancing with the Stars, because that's just such an iconic year. And watching that team that year, like as a twinkle, it was just like so amazing. I was like, wow, I want to be on this team because the energy they brought to the floor at practice, amazing. And then 2020 to 2021 World Tour. I loved that routine because although it was very hard and we had a lot of difficulty, the way it was set up made it so easy. And I loved competing that routine. Like it was so much fun. So those, I think, are my 2 favorites.
Oh, that made me so happy about Dancing with the Stars. That was It was a hard year for us at the beginning, but I think that the special thing about that team in particular was like we just loved each other. We had a fun time and
Hmm.
showed on the floor. So I'm glad you
Yeah,
guys.
it definitely did show on the floor.
Was that the year with the Tower of Pisa part?
Yes.
I like that year too. And was that the year after COVID?
Hmm.
Do you want to speak a little bit about what it was like competing at Worlds that year?
Yeah, I mean, by Worlds, it was a lot better. Like, I think masks were optional by Worlds, but it was definitely different because it was so much later in the season. But I mean, having virtual NCA and like virtual kickoff was very weird that year. And we didn't go to majors that year either. So it was kind of a weird year, but it was longer because we still started kind of in the beginning of summer and it went to May. I think Worlds was in May, which I mean, I love that team. I love being so young, like all the older girls, because they treated me like an older girl, and that's kind of all you want when you're younger.
Yeah.
So it was such a fun year. And honestly, I didn't mind competing with the masks because it would fall down when I was humbling, and I was like, okay, I'm leaving it there.
Mhm.
Because I mean, I was with my team every single day. So I feel like it was kind of safer because we all like would get tested and all that stuff. But having kind of stars during the COVID year was like amazing because I didn't really go to school because they wouldn't let us go to school for some reason because I went to a small like grade school. So they just had us at home. So I liked competing like during COVID year because it made going on the mat more special, even though there wasn't as many people there. It was still fun to like be on the mat.
Yeah, you have such a unique experience, like
Mm-hmm.
being a part of that year, and I'm sure that team, like having the pandemic happen and then having like those girls to like kind of have was probably very special. So that
Mm-hmm.
year. And honestly, that routine, like just like you said, because I watch when did I watch that routine? Sometimes I get to watch all the stars routine when I edit the videos, but that
Mm-hmm.
routine is just so creative and so fun, and you guys could tell that you were having a good time on the floor. Great choices for the routines, and that's all the questions I have for you. But
Mm-hmm.
thank you again for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Course. I'm gonna stop the recording really quick. All right, guys. So that's all I have for you today. Kayli, it was such a joy to have on. Truly one of the best athletes that have come out of World Cup. So I was so pleased that I was able to get her on this channel. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's a brand new year, more content, more guests. Please go follow Kayli on all of her social media platforms, which will be down below. And please like and subscribe to this channel and comment any ideas or people that you want to hear from on this platform. I missed you guys. So excited to see what this year holds, and I will see you guys soon. Kiss, kiss.